Good morning, everybody. How are you today? One watching. That would be me. Hi, Sylvia. How are you today? Trying to get all my computer stuff put together. I'm awake, I think. Working on it anyway. How about you guys? Hi, Sandra. Coffee is coming. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Yay. I have coffee. Do you? It's hot. I have to let it cool off for a few minutes. It's already got my icky stuff in it. I put collagen peptides in there. Oh, did you have COVID, Sylvia? I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad you're feeling better, but that's not good. Getting out some things I've been playing with the last few days. I don't know if you can see it over here. My Cricut set up on what used to be my ironing station. See it there? And I've been playing with it a whole bunch. I've got, I've just about ruined the pink mat using it to cut fabric. But I did figure out how to cut fabric with it. You don't drink coffee, Sandra? I'm not sure you get through the day without coffee. I didn't until I was in my, early 30s when I was having to get up to go to work at like 2 a.m. And then I became desperate for coffee. That is a Cricut. It's the Cricut Maker, the one they came out with about 4 years ago, I guess. And I've been relearning it. I had talked to hubby about it, and I need to be able to cut fabric. I didn't want to buy an AccuQuilt because then you have to buy all those dyes and stuff to go with it, and they take up lots of space. Oh, I love the smell of coffee, even more than I love the taste. But everybody's different. I'm not going to criticize you. I think the entire nation of Great Britain drinks tea instead of coffee, and I'm not a hot tea drinker at all. So the reason the Cricut's sitting right next to me is because I have been working the Cricut to death. Oh, well, this mat here for the Maker is intended to hold fabric, and I don't know if you can see. Mine's getting pretty grungy. The only way to clean this mat, is to use a pink eraser, which I don't have. And I keep forgetting to order. Hubby's going to go to the Dollar Tree this week, so I'm going to have him get me a couple of pink erasers if they have it. You don't like tea? And Sandra doesn't like coffee, doesn't even like the smell. But Coke Zero sounds good. I drink Diet Coke too. But I drug the Cricut out because I figured if it wasn't going to work to cut fabric, then I was going to replace it with something that would. But I think I've done fairly well with it. The only thing The hardest part for me actually has been trying to figure out how to like create the patterns. So I've got, remember the linen quilt I was working on? This one here. I took the templates that are in this. We have baby chicks in the box over there. So yeah, we've got a bird. This template was giving me fits on the Cricut, and I finally figured out last night how to do it. So I'm going to cut them today. And you would think this would be really easy, right? I think it depends on how long you, or how often you clean your mats. And I have definitely watched some videos on how to clean mats. Mine have lasted a while. Let's see. I needed squares for this, and I just cut those out regular. Cut a strip, cut it up, that kind of thing. This was the one I was wanting it to be able to do. And as you can tell, my Cricut did a good job on those. But it took me a little while to figure it out. I did upload a video yesterday about the Cricut, about how to use it to print vinyl. And let's see, where's my little boxy box? I labeled my little box with my Cricut. I labeled it on both sides because no matter which way it's turned, that I can find it. That is, I think, the most important part of that block, Sandra, this one. And I was like, I am not going to waste a ton of fabric to get this. Oh, thank you very much, Sylvia. I appreciate it. So I finally figured out a way to cut 6 of these out of I think I figured it has to be an 11-inch block to be able to do it. So I'm going to cut those out. I need 80 of them, I think, because I'm making the throw size. So there's 2. I need 72 more. Doesn't have to be heavy duty fabric, but it does have to be the right angle. And I played with this for days, or it seems like I played with it for days before I finally got it to the right shape that I needed and with the edges long enough. So once I get them all put together, then I can go through and start sewing my little areas together. I'm working on the Farm Girl Vintage. Good morning, Donna. How are you today? Working on the Farm Girl Vintage right now. And the pineapple blocks that Kathy's doing. But I'm trying not to do those on camera unless I have something different to offer that she's not doing, so that I don't step on any toes on that one. And then I can work on this on camera if I need to. But I've actually got a couple of other projects that have taken, good morning, Vicki, that have taken priority. I had this as a panel, the little book. It smells so good. It smells like this flatter spray that I have. I don't know that the flatter actually does anything. Sylvia, you could probably do it. I can do cutting fabric on the Cricut without too big of a hassle. One of the things that I've learned with the Cricut this last week is that if you go into design space and you go to the shapes, they have more than just the circle, square, triangle down there. And I'm trying to figure out, well, I'm actually waiting on, what am I waiting on? A multiple USB port holder to come in so that I can plug in more than, just one item at a time into my laptop. And then I can use that for my Cricut and my microphone and my camera. But yeah, I'll be definitely going over how to cut fabric on a Cricut, Sylvia. That will be one of the videos. This one got cut out by hand, and I just put like iron and interfacing in it. Well, Vicki, I'm also, how to cut fabric without a Cricut. But that's the blah, 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 blah. One of the videos that's coming out is how to lay out and cut your blocks without a Cricut. And I'm going to do that so that those who want to do the chicken salad and want to cut out the blocks can do it by hand. And then after that first block by hand, then I'm going to cut the rest of mine on the Cricut. And there'll be a video on how to cut them on the Cricut too. That's what I'm doing, is trying to learn enough to be able to teach you, because I can go in and do the basics, but I don't know the whys behind it. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to make sure I get enough information in there so that if you wanted to go from, okay, Melissa's cutting out a chicken, I want to cut out an XYZ, then you could do that. And I actually think there's a way for the Cricut to be able to cut, like when you need 2.5-inch squares out of stuff. I think the Cricut will do that too. Good morning, Nancy Guess. How are you today? But there's my little lemon project. That doesn't fit a project bag yet, so I'm not putting it in a project bag. I have a shoebox floating around. All the pieces are in there except for the one little template piece that I showed you. So that's coming. And then I've been working on cutting vinyl with my Cricut. This is the same vinyl that I used to make that wallet that I'm giving away. And I don't know. Yeah, you can just barely see that on camera. That's an L that I engraved in there. I don't think it's deep enough, but I'm going to try again. But I thought that would be cute, because number one, it won't fray. So even if you put a hole in the center and a keychain thing, it would be a cute little keychain or bag tag or something. And then I cut this out. I have a Brother SE400. What are you making your name tags out of, Vicki? Are you doing name tags out of leather like I am? Oh, that's cool, Sylvia. And I am working on tags. That's just little pair of hearts. This is a project I downloaded from Design Space. It's a luggage tag. And as you can see, I have a boo-boo up there at the top. But the engraving thing on Design Space put all those clouds in there. And I think that's pretty cool. I don't necessarily want to do engraving on leather pieces, but I wanted to see what I could do. So you're making name tags on fabric. I do have an SC400. I can try. Do you have any embroidery software? Oh, to make like a quilt label for your quilt? It would be perfect for a prayer pocket. I'm not sure what a prayer pocket is, but that's cool. Yeah, this is a good thing you got a lot of scraps. Well, I don't even know what I'm going to do with these little hearts, Donna, but that one has an L engraved on it. No and yes. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure it'll do something that big, but I can show you how to use it to import embroidery files. I'll have to look those up. I don't think I've ever heard of prayer pockets. But if it's something I need to have, for sure. My friends, I have a little piece of the tape that I had used to stick it to the mat stuck to my fingers now. Friend of mine's 23-year-old son was diagnosed with cancer yesterday. And if a prayer pocket would help, I'll make her a bunch and send to her. I've already got, I've got to go through my stack of quilts. I need to send both him and her one. She's been my go-to person for years and years for, you have an ache or a pain that you don't really want to call the doctor about. I've known her. She's a nurse. I've known her for probably 20 years now. And like when Wayne had his stroke and I wasn't sure what was going on, I text messaged her at 3 a.m. and she answered me. She was at work, but she's that person. And now her son has been diagnosed with cancer. And I'm just like, oh no. Good morning, Colleen. How are you? Sylvia, that's awesome. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that. Well, there's several people that could use something like that I know for sure. I'm sure we all know some of those. So, yeah, where do you get the tiny crosses? Are they just like a jewelry cross, or do you put a wooden one in there or make one or something? Good morning, Courtney. How are you? Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. I'll look it up, Sylvia. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. And even worse than that. Oh, that's not bad. Even worse than that is another friend's husband had a stroke about 2 years ago. Vital, vibrant, still like building houses guy. And he's in his mid 70s. He's not all there anymore. There's no more the stroke. I don't know if it's Alzheimer's or if they're calling it dementia, but he just decided yesterday he's done. He's going to stop eating. It's the only thing he can control. So, are you having fun on your trip, Courtney? I hope you are. And how many projects did you take, and how many projects have you finished already? I will definitely look that up on Pinterest. Well, I can't watch that video while I'm live, Colleen, but I definitely will. That's interesting. And that would be, I mean, if that's anywhere close to the right size, that would be a great use of scraps of vinyl. And I have a lot of scraps of vinyl this week. I haven't even tried yet to convert the necessary clutch wallet into a file that I can cut on my Cricut. That's on my list, but I cut all the ones for my order. Good morning, Tracy. Aw. I got an order for 10, and so I've cut them all out. I've got 6 sewn, 7 is going on the machine today. And there are a lot of scraps from making that, even, when you cut close together, because I'm not making all 10 in this color vinyl. I've got white, I've got a pink, and I've got a purple. Good morning, Lori Miller. Haven't finished any projects yet. Oh, a lot of shopping. Hubby's going to love the credit card bill, right? I think you said that the other night in your live. And thank goodness that Courtney managed to make it to her trip without falling off a chair. She needs to buy a ladder on her trip. Thank you, thank you. You make them also in 4-patch and hourglass. So they would, so Nancy, you're talking about the prayer pocket things? So they would be a good way to use up like about extra blocks and stuff. Look at everybody. Good morning, everybody. Well, I've been talking about playing with my Cricut and trying to learn new things. This is engraving, and this L is engraved. There's also a tool for the Cricut called a debosser, and I have never heard of it till I started playing with it a little more intensely. Okay, Courtney, that's fine, as long as you stay off that stool. But they have a debosser. It's supposed to be similar to the engraver. And I've been playing with all that. And the other thing I did this week, you guys can laugh at me all you want, but I had fun. I'm going to turn the camera a little bit. Somebody said, is that a Cricut? This is definitely a Cricut. There's projects in Design Space if you look hard enough. And this is one that I designed and made. My little fabric's too short, but it goes in that center drawer to hold your blades in place. So like your Cricut blades and stuff, you set them in there and it keeps them from shifting around. Good morning, Beverly. How are you today? Now the big one, someone else designed. I just used their template and made it. And I used fusible foam. Then I put a little fabric on top of it. Now that I've made it, it makes more sense, but it certainly didn't when I was first making it. I want to put that pen back in there. This is the only pen that'll write on the little Cricut blades that I have. And I want to make sure that it stays with the Cricut. Yeah, hopefully I know you said that you wanted to be able to eat and drink your potassium. Sorry, but you may actually need to take medication for that. So you definitely want to talk to your primary doctor about it. And also ask your doctor if you need to take like a regular vitamin B12, anything like that to help keep those levels up. Wayne spent a week in the hospital back in 2015. They didn't know what was wrong with him. He had to have iron infusions, all kinds of stuff. Turns out that a medicine that he takes, omeprazole, robs your body of B12, and B12 is required to keep your iron levels up. So Wayne takes more than the maximum dose or the recommended dose of B12 every day to keep his iron levels up. So you may want to ask your doctor about that, especially since you're already on some other meds. I don't know if any of those have those side effects, but we didn't know that about omeprazole. So I take B12 4 times a week. I have my doctor track it for me, and I stay just above what the recommended is to keep my iron levels up. Yeah, Sylvia, we found that out after a 7-day hospital stay. So I definitely try to pass that along to everybody that I talk to. Yeah, omeprazole, robs your B12, which keeps you from being able to hold on to iron. And potassium, I'm trying to think of what the other one is. I take extra, excuse me, I take extra potassium and extra B12 to make sure that those levels stay where they're supposed to. Because I had some stomach surgery in 2011 and again last year that makes it harder for things to absorb vitamins. Yeah, Vicki, you should definitely have talk to your doctor about your iron levels and your B12. And if you already know that anemia is an issue for you, you should just take some B12. B12 is water soluble. I take extra vitamin D, turmeric. I was taking fish oil and ginger, but the fish oil and ginger cause bathroom issues. How's that for the nice way to say that? Oh, Lori is ornery. You can tell she's going to be a troublemaker. I'm waiting to see Miss Lori hit her stride. All right. The other question I have is, have any of you guys made those design boards? I know Wendy Stroud has, but I don't think she's here. Yeah, it does, Nancy. But vitamin B12 is important in that too. Yeah, over-the-counter B12 is perfectly fine. Wayne was taking the liquid version that you put under your tongue. That stuff tastes like, ugh. Okay, so we all know I'm too cheap to go buy design boards from somebody. So I have plans today to see if I can do it from cardboard. And I've got to find some scraps of batting because I used up most of my scraps of batting in the scrap quilt that I made last week. So, and I want to make probably a couple of 12 by 12 ones. Tracy, did you make them with cardboard? Good morning, Susan. How are you? And I saw that Wendy Stroud had put washi tape around hers. I'm thinking about trying to put binding around mine. Everybody's cheap, right? I don't know many people who aren't, especially in this day and age. You can do it. Did you sew through your cardboard, Tracy? And since you guys have made them, what sizes have you found most useful? I know that part of that is, what do you use in your sewing room kind of thing. Yeah, I just we get a lot of boxes because we live so rural, so far out. Say that better that way. We get a lot of boxes in the mail, and we use some in the garden, but there's only so much cardboard you can put in any garden space. And I'm like, okay, let me find a use for this cardboard rather than throw it away. And we don't take it to the dump. But this box has this shiny on the front, and I don't really want to put that in my garden. So I thought, well, I could cut it up and use it for something. On one side of that one, there's notes. You made 12-inch? I have tape. Tracy, I have washi tape or duct tape that I bought at the Dollar Tree, but you get 10 feet of tape or something on it, so it doesn't go very far. And I thought that would be a perfect use for that. Susan, did they at least apologize for the poor customer service that you got? Somebody needs to apologize for it. You used 12 and a half, 15 and a couple of 8. Are the 8 inches useful for you, Lori? Or what do you use the 8 inches for? I'm thinking 12 and a half would probably be the maximum size I would use because of, yeah, the space limitations that I have. I mean, my Cricut is sitting on my ironing table, which is a TV tray, and I really need to move it. I'll take that link, Donna. I definitely will take that link. If you're on Facebook, you can message me through Facebook Messenger. And my email address is actually in my About page. 12 by 18. You do small blocks often? That's definitely an idea, Sylvia. 15-inch and 8-inch. Yeah, I have some foam board floating around here, Susan. But I couldn't tell you where right now. And if I could find it, I would probably use it as a, like, up on the wall thing. Yeah, Lori Holt, the guru of design boards, has got a crap ton of them. That's a real metric measurement, right? And I'm like, I don't know that I want to make room for that. I've made a couple of bigger blocks, Sylvia, but not often. The lemon block comes out to, I think if I remember right, it was like 14 or 15 one way, and then 8 or 10 the other. So that's probably the maximum size for me. Yeah, Colleen, Lori Holt's got this, what looks like a big, huge windowsill in her room, and the blocks fit perfectly on her windowsill. I don't know if she created that using furniture or if there was actually a windowsill there whenever she moved in. Yeah, Tracy, I was shocked that she made the video. Somebody needs to put this old helmet in timeout, please. Colleen, would you take care of that, or do I need to? Let's. Good morning, Shirley. How are you today? Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm glad that they were great for you, Susan, because that's definitely not the way people should be treated. Oh, I meant say bye-bye to that person, Colleen. I thought I remembered hearing something about it being a built-in window seat. For those who haven't seen it, Lori Holt's got this huge window in her sewing room. I don't know if she's in the garage or where, but she's got a beautiful sewing room. I'm jealous of it for sure. But she's got this big, long windowsill. I thought maybe she had put furniture that just fit under the window, but it's very deep. So she's got her little ironing station there in it, and her sewing machine sits next to it. And as much as I love all things Lori Holt and think she's brilliant at how she designed her room, I'm not sure I could go to that little hole to sew every day. I have a girlfriend who used to sing Fifth City all the time. Aw, Well, after 43 years, he probably deserves a break, just like you do, Vicky. But congratulations on being married 43 years. Yeah. Tracy pays better attention than I do. I think it's Vicky's anniversary. I don't know what the traditional gift is for 43 years, but you have the patience of a saint, Vicky, and so does he. Putting up with anybody for 43 years has got to be loads of fun. Who asked me about the birds? You can hear the birds, but you can't hear the dishwasher? I'm kind of surprised because the dishwasher's closer. It got down to the weather report said it was going to be in the 50s last night, and the newest birds are under a week old. So we brought them in overnight to make sure they stayed warm enough. We don't necessarily give them a heater when they're that little because it's plenty warm here in Florida, but we do try to keep them warmer. Hey, Lisa, how are you this morning? If you guys haven't seen Lisa Pegg's picture this morning, Lisa Pegg has finished her pineapple blocks, the top of her quilt. I'm like, oh, yeah. It gets better every year. I don't know. If I got to 43 years with Wayne, I'd be thrilled and shocked because we'd be in our hundreds. But Lisa's pineapple block is amazing. Oh, well, congratulations on getting your hearing aids, Sylvia. If I remember right, Sylvia, you're in the UK? Oh, Lisa, that pineapple is just stunning. I looked at it and was like, okay. I don't know how you kept track of the fabric that went in each round to make sure all those blocks matched. Derbyshire, how do you say it? Because my American accent would go Derbyshire. And I know that's probably not right. Right in the middle. And I keep hearing a truck backing up. I heard it on Kathy's video yesterday, or Kathy's live yesterday, and I thought, oh, well, there must be a truck, like the garbage truck is emptying the dumpster or whatever. And now I'm hearing that truck backing, the backup alarm. Orange is a great color to accent a quilt with. And Lisa's is just gorgeous, guys. If you haven't seen it, you've got to go look at it. I think she posted it in Sobecca's. And I'm pretty sure that where I saw it at was in Kathy's page. But yeah, it's gorgeous. And I don't see any errors in it. There may be, but Lisa, I don't see anything. But I'm looking at it going, wow, I know how much work those pineapples are. Batiks and regular cotton, well, at least then you don't have to worry about, did you get something backwards in there? But it is beautiful. Yeah, it's, Lisa, where all did you post it? I know Sobecca's and I'm pretty sure Kathy's. I don't know if you posted it on my Facebook page. And I think, I'm not 100% sure if Lisa and I are friends personally on Facebook, but I may have seen it on Lisa's page too. But it is gorgeous, guys. Good morning, Kelly. Yeah. Too early to have to be up and thinking, right? It's 10:30 for me. And I got my coffee right after I sat down here, so I'm still waking up. Oh, Colleen, everybody knows that you're not malicious. Crazy, but not malicious. Just on Kathy's? Yeah, so look on Kathy's group. Colleen, if my phone is giving me fits about sending text message pictures, but maybe I'll see what I can do about getting you a picture of it and sending it over to you, Colleen. Or maybe I'll send it to Steph and she can send it to you. Everybody's awake this morning, huh? Oh, well, it's nice that he sacrificed so you could have what you like. We bought a pickup truck for the farm. Let me tell you what, I worked at a prison when I was going to college. I graduated in 2000, I think, from college. And I worked with a guy out there who drove this little blue pickup truck. And I remember the truck because it was just like this teal blue. Well, about 2.5 years ago, after we bought the farm, we started looking for one of those four-wheel drive golf cart things. They're UTVs, utility terrain vehicles, utility all-terrain vehicles. So we started looking for one. And those things are as expensive as buying a car. They were like $10,000, $12,000, $16,000 for something that you're going to drive all over the farm. And I was like, I'm not spending that kind of money for a vehicle you can't even drive to town. So, no, the email isn't just sending messages on Messenger. So we decided we were going to buy a small pickup truck. This was, of course, before all the craziness that's going on with used vehicles now. So I posted a message on Facebook and said, looking for a small pickup truck that we can use on the farm, haul feed bags around, garbage, that kind of stuff. I didn't want anything fancy. And a couple days after I posted that, my former coworker put up a picture of that blue truck from the 2000s for like $500. I was like, okay, is it going to run long enough for us to even get it home? And he's like, yeah, it's a good truck. It's just, nobody wants to ride in it anymore because the seat's starting to go and this, that, and the other. And I was like, oh, that's not a problem. So we bought this truck off of him for like $500 and we use it for a farm truck. Haul feed, haul animals, do whatever. COVID hits, used cars go insane. We had someone literally pull up in the yard and offer us $3,000 for that stupid truck. And I was like, you know what? I would take the $3,000, but then I'd have to turn around and try to replace it. And that's not going to happen. So I refused to sell my truck. You wanted a purple truck? Okay, Kelly. I can't hang clothes up anymore, Kelly, so I get it. Well, I don't mind secondhand vehicles. We finally bought me a new vehicle because before the pandemic, I was out here by myself most of the time. Hubby left for work at like 6 o'clock in the morning and didn't get back, until 7, 8 o'clock at night. So if something happened during the day, I had to be able to go somewhere because he was in West Palm and it's an 1.5-hour drive each way. So we did buy me a new car, but only so there wouldn't be any maintenance issues with it. Your cat's listening to the video, Dawn. That's cool. Good morning, James. Coffee be gone. But hubby just got on his work video, so I'll have another cup in a little while. She's sweet. Loretta sings Harper Valley PTA? Or did she cover it? Because I thought it was Jeannie C. Riley who sang that. Yay! Hopefully not too expensive there, Dawn, for your long arm to get fixed. Well, Stir, I'd rather drive a sewing machine than a car anyway. Dawn, aka My Quilt Projects, has a video on applying binding with her long arm. I have never seen anybody do that. Less than $4. Yay, Dawn. That's awesome. Because I thought you had said your tension arm or something went out. And I was going, oh, poor Dawn. I don't even know what that costs. Less than $4? I'll take that. There's very few things that stick in my head, like who sings what song. I don't know all of them, but there's a couple that I know. Kelly has a long name. Kathy has a long name. Good morning, Stephanie. And then Tracy cleans, quilts, cooks, sews, and sleeps, or whatever. Those three names I always go, oh, okay. Oh, Sylvia, she has a long arm, and she thought that Dawn, hopefully you'll tell her. You're your own long arm technician. But I think she said something about she was working the other day and the tension motor went out or something. And I thought that was going to turn out to be really expensive to fix. So for less than $4, she fixed it. That's a good thing. Yeah, what Dawn said. Check spring on the tension. I have no idea. But she fixed it. That's all it counts, right? How hard was it? Couldn't have been too hard, right? I don't know. It might have been really hard and you're just downplaying it, or I'm just downplaying it. That's not intentional. Awesome. So I've learned all kinds of stuff already, and we aren't even halfway through. These could be turned into prayer pockets, Stephanie. I don't know if you've ever heard of those, but I'm going to check that out this afternoon. My little scraps of fabric that I've been playing with my engraver blade on. And I'm really liking those clouds on there. But I don't like that it cut that piece. Actually, that part kind of ripped. I've got painter's tape coming, because if you're going to put vinyl on a Cricut and cut it, you need painter's tape to hold down the edges so that it doesn't catch and do this. Check spring. See, I'm learning all kinds of stuff here. So if I ever do get a long arm quilter, I'll know what to look for. You may have to do a video on how to fix that there, Dawn. The quilting, not the quilting newbies, the long arm newbies among us. Okay. Go ahead, Kelly. Good morning, Teresa. How are you today? Look at all the ranches. Ranchy. That's a good thing. And if that other guy comes out of timeout, somebody just needs to boot him. I don't think you're ever too old to learn something new, Sylvia. I have a bad habit of going, okay, well, am I going to live long enough to enjoy that? I need to quit thinking like that. Because when we bought our house out here, it was like, oh, probably be there 10 years, whatever. I don't care. We're going to be here till we leave, till, we go out boots first. There's a barnyard shovel patrons. Oh, awesome, Don. Oh, sometimes the NCW, the necessary clutch wallet that I made, the second part of that video took me over a week between me and tech support to get it edited and get it to go up. The editing didn't take so long, but the uploading was like, oh my goodness. That's not bad, Susan. Not bad at all. Because I think I paid $2,200 for my Juki and the little frame. So yeah, $5,000's not bad. Colleen's listening to music this morning. Vicki Lemire, just in case you don't know, Memoirs of a Long Arm Quilter is Stephanie or Steph. And then I found this yesterday in among my plunder here that I had made with my Cricut a while back. I don't know if you guys can read that, but the hair and stuff is actually the lyrics. It says, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate this thing called life. Blah, blah, blah. It's a little psychedelic looking. So I got to figure out a place to hang my Prince boy up. I've got Freddie Mercury on my pressure cooker. It's okay, Vicki. I just wanted to tell you in case you didn't know it. I'm not expecting you to remember it. And then the other thing I did yesterday, and I was kind of waiting on Stephanie to come in for this because all of you who've made Bargellos may have to help me. Here is my blocks according to the pattern. I was trying to show it to Stephanie and Colleen yesterday that all of my blocks go one direction except for this one. Let me bring this down some so you can see better. So here's the one that goes the wrong direction. And here are the ones that go the right direction. I make a great design wall, don't I? And then this is the shape I get whenever I put it that way. But they don't all go the same direction. And I only have one that goes this way. These 8 all go the same way. Yes, they are. This is pretty complicated. Now that I've got it all put together, I think I cut this one like from the wrong end of the thing, which I don't mind. The colors are good, but I don't see any way to fix it to match the others. And I need to put it together. Good morning, Laura Miller. So I think we've got Lori and Laura. So we've got to figure out how to put my Bargello together. So that may have to go up on the design wall today and sit and fiddle with it until I'm happy with it. And I wasn't really sure what design of Bargello I wanted. And that's just a Robert Kaufman jelly roll. One of the ones I got for $14 on Amazon. So it's not a huge loss if I get it wrong, but I would kind of like to have it go, the waves of color go up and down. So I may have to play with that. Speaking of our favorite, the credit card company finally gave me credit yesterday for the $118 overcharge. And apparently the package was sent out yesterday as well, the last subscription box. Oh, I think it looks fine. The Bargello gets sewn together in strips, but you've really got to make sure your piecing is exact, your ironing is exact, because you have to sew all of the seams one direction once you have them seamed together, and then fold the whole thing over, sew it shut, but don't iron that last seam, and then you start cutting. But you've got to make sure that you cut all your tubes, is what I call them. But you got to make sure you cut them all accurately, and that you cut them all the same direction, or the direction you intend. I think it helps if you already know what you want the quilt to do afterwards, because then I would have known that I needed to cut some from one end and some from the other. Brandy has a live tomorrow. Yeah, and I'm not going to be stepping on the end of hers. So that was one of the reasons. Yes, Brandy, I did. I mean, Dawn. Yeah. And, I wasn't looking to get the whole thing refunded, but I definitely didn't like the fact that I got charged for 3. And then yesterday was the 19th. Yesterday is when the $117, $118 finally showed up back on my credit card. Colleen, speaking of Beth at Goody Goods, the last update I saw from her was that the doctors were planning to release her mom from the hospital, but mom would have to rest for a few days, I guess, at a hotel before they could fly home. But she is going to be able to fly home, which is good, instead of having to make that trip cross country. That would be bumpy and not happy. I wouldn't be happy doing that. But we are still praying for Beth's mom. And I did see a post from Beth about how lucky her mom was that she was exactly where she was at when that happened, because she was just coming out of the airport. There was EMS very close by. There was a hospital that specializes in pulmonary embolisms, like right around the corner. So, oh, you could, Sylvia, but you'd have to pay the import tax. Welcome back, Kelly. Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that that was good news for Beth and for her mom. I'm sure her mom thinks it's awesome news since it's her. But yeah, and I've been trying not to harass Beth, because I do have her, I can text her, but I've been trying to keep really close tabs on what she's posting so that I can share it with those who are interested. Yeah, her mom's really lucky, and yeah, and the doctors are being very cautious, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. All right, guys, since all I'm doing is chit-chatting here today and not actually getting anything done, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you guys on Friday at noon. I need to get back to work on the Cricut thing so I can actually get some tutorial videos up instead of just chit-chatting here today. I kind of feel guilty. I'm enjoying the chat, but I feel guilty because I know that I need to get some work done so I can do the next thing on our list. I'm trying to get those chicken salads out, or those chicken salad videos out, and editing the video takes longer than doing it any other way. Oh yeah, Kathy comes on at 1 my time. No Thursday, Teresa. I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm going to do Friday at noon. On Thursday, when I do my live at noon, and Brandy goes at 11, I just feel like if I'm in Brandy's live, I feel like I'm sitting there tapping my foot, like hurry up and get done so I can go on. And I got the impression that Brandy feels that way too. So I wanted to move this to Wednesday so that I don't feel like I'm doing that to her, and she doesn't feel that way either. Okay. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you. I love you all. And hopefully there'll be another tutorial video going up today. That's on my goal list for us. And it should have some more information about how to use the Cricut to cut fabric. Bye, guys. Have a